watching Dante Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So Terence Crawford, he did a recent interview where he was extremely honest on who he felt was the toughest opponent of his entire career. And his answer may surprise a lot of you guys, but it doesn't surprise me because I've always said that I felt that this was Terence Crawford's most difficult fight. And it's just so crazy because if you've never watched the Errol Spence fight and you just knew that Terence Crawford beat Errol Spence, you would automatically assume the toughest fight of his career would be against Errol Spence, right? But it turns out his most difficult fight of his career was against a featherweight that was moving up in weight, and that is Yuriorkis Gamboa, the only fighter to truly hurt and stagger Terence Crawford. And when I say hurt and stagger him, I mean he was really on noodle legs. It's just amazing when you think about the fact that his skills completely trumped his natural size when it comes to Gamboa. Now, Terence Crawford, he also included the Mean Machine, but that was kind of added mainly because the Breakfast Club, they added his name. Not saying it wasn't one of his most toughest fights, but that's one of the main reasons he named him and named him first. But once again, it's amazing to think about the fact that a lot of Terence Crawford's previous opponents did much better against Crawford than Errol Spence did. Mean Machine did. Hell, even Kell Brook was doing better until he got knocked out. Victor Postal, Sean Porter, and of course, Yuriorkis Gamboa. It just further proves that styles make fights.
Who is your toughest opponent that you've had so far?
That dude from Lithuania. I can't pronounce his name.
Kavalaskis.
Whatever.
Yeah.
The one they say might have knocked you down. I don't know if he was a slip.
Igas.
Yeah.
I would say the hardest fight in my career, it would have to be between Igas and Gamboa.
Why?
Gamboa's feet was just so fast. And he was so small to where he was darting in and darting out, and he was hitting me and making me miss just by an inch. So it was kind of like I had to make certain adjustments, and he was making adjustments, and I was making adjustments, and it was just like, it was a chess match, but it was a fast chess match, and he was getting the better of me because he was more experienced, but at the same time, he was more explosive. So I just had to, figure out the puzzle a little longer.
And even though the Kavalaskis fight was one of Terence Crawford's toughest fights as well, he figured out that puzzle a lot quicker and easier than he figured out the Gamboa puzzle. Just as Terence Crawford put it, both fighters were raising the bar at the same time in that fight. They were both trying to outdo each other. There were moments when Gamboa, he was outboxing Crawford. And then, of course, there were moments when Crawford was outboxing him. It's really unfortunate how Top Rank did Yuriorkis Gamboa. For those of you guys who don't know, Gamboa at the time, he was a big deal in the sport of boxing, and he was aggressively chasing Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia was completely avoiding him. There were other fighters that were avoiding Gamboa as well. And then you had Terence Crawford, who was also being avoided by a lot of fighters. So at this time, instead of Top Rank trying to push for Gamboa to fight Mikey Garcia, which would have been at the time like the biggest fight, especially on Top Rank's roster, they decide to make Gamboa versus Terence Crawford. This move even surprised Gamboa. Gamboa was even left shaking his head. He said he didn't understand why they would even propose a fight like that. But he really had no choice but to take it. That's pretty much what Gamboa said in an interview that I did with him years and years back. It was just another clear case of a modern-day black murderer's role. Dangerous black fighters being completely avoided by everyone, and they're forced to fight against each other because Top Rank felt that these guys were expendable. So it didn't really matter if they fought against each other and one of them got an L on their record. They didn't care about that at all. The only thing they were worried about is Mikey Garcia not getting an L on his record from one of these fighters. I mean, remember all the stuff that Bob Arum had said about Terence Crawford? And he was saying these things about Crawford while Crawford was still basically trying to, or maybe I shouldn't say trying to, Terence Crawford was still showing Bob Arum an enormous amount of respect while Bob Arum kept getting on the microphone and completely disrespecting him. Not to mention, Bob Arum would come out and he would admit that he killed the Manny Pacquiao fight. He said he killed the fight basically because he felt that Terence Crawford would beat him. And he didn't want to see Terence Crawford beat Manny Pacquiao. He said he didn't want to see Pacquiao get hurt, et cetera, et cetera. But the problem is Bob Arum's job is to promote his fighters. You can't be paid to promote someone and then you come out and openly admit that you're really trying to demote them. Bob Arum took away Terence Crawford's opportunity to become a star, a big star in the sport of boxing 5 years before he became as big as he is today. And what makes it so offensive is the fact that Manny Pacquiao was towards the end of his career. And that's usually when a promoter will put the older lion in there with the younger lion, basically to pass the torch. It makes all the sense in the world. So it doesn't make sense that Bob was trying to protect a fighter that was closer to the end of his career than the beginning of his career. And realistically, it shouldn't matter what his age is. As a promoter, Bob was supposed to be putting on the best fights available when it comes to his promotional company. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, the fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodekey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.
NWA Connie Corsos proudly presents the Southern Classic Litter. The breeding between Scandafio's Rambo and NWA's Nyla is confirmed, and pups will be here within 30 days. Get ahead of the pack by getting your application in at NWAConnieCorsos.com. Our pups come with a 24-month health guarantee. Contact us on any platform at NWA Connie Corsos. We stand behind our dogs.
Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram.